Imagine for a moment your phone rings. It's someone who hasn't called in months. They're panicking. They're desperate. Why? Because for the first time, they felt the weight of your absence. That's when it hits them they will never find peace after losing you. And I'm here to tell you why this is not just a possibility, it's a fact. Imagine walking into a room where everyone seems at ease, laughter fills the air, conversations flow, and everything feels balanced. You might think it's just a vibe on the moment. No, it's you. You are the reason things feel right. Your presence is like gravity. It holds everything in place, even when no one is constantly aware of it. But the real weight of your value, that's only felt when it's no longer there. The truth is, you bring something to the table that no one else can replicate. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you are. Your energy, your words, your ability to make others feel seen, heard, and understood, those are things that can't be replaced. And when you're no longer around, that void you leave behind isn't just a gap, it's a wound. People may try to fill it with distractions, with replacements, but deep down, they'll feel the absence. They'll feel the shift in the atmosphere. And no matter how much time passes, they'll never fully recover from losing what you uniquely offer. This is why your presence matters so much more than you may think. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're the one who brings calm to the chaos, the one who makes the unbearable feel manageable. Your value is intrinsic, and no one else can replicate the way you make others feel whole. So understand this, your presence is your power. And when it's gone, it's a loss that can't be undone. When you show up, something changes. It's not just your physical presence, it's the energy, the comfort, and the sense of stability you bring into a space. Whether you realize it or not, your presence shifts the dynamic of everything around you. The way you listen when someone needs to talk, the way you laugh and lighten the mood, or even the way you silently support others with your understanding, it all matters more than you know. You see, being there isn't just about proximity, it's about connection, it's about the way you make others feel like they're not alone, like someone truly has their back. Your presence creates a safe space, a sense of reassurance that no matter what's happening, things will be okay because you're there. And here's the thing, they may not always acknowledge it. They may not say it outright or thank you every time, but they feel it. People feel the difference you make. It's in the way tensions ease when you walk into a room. It's in how their burdens feel a little lighter just because you're beside them. It's in the peace they feel, knowing someone like you exists in their corner. But take that presence away and suddenly the balance shifts. They'll feel the void even if they don't fully understand why. That's the power of showing up. It's not just about being physically present, it's about the emotional and spiritual weight you carry. You're not just there, you're there in a way no one else can be. And that is what makes you unforgettable. Think about the moments that truly define your life, the laughter, the tears, the triumphs, and the struggles. Now think about the people who were there with you through it all. Those relationships, the connections you share are the foundation of everything. They are what make life meaningful, what give it depth. The truth is, the bonds you build with others are not just important, they're vital. They're the threads that hold the fabric of their piece together. When you're present in someone's life, you're not just a friend, family member, or partner, you're a source of stability. You're the one they call when they're lost, the one they lean on when they're weak, the one who celebrates with them when they win. Whether you know it or not, you're a pillar in their life. And without you, things will fall apart in ways they can't imagine. But relationships are fragile. They require effort, care, and understanding. And sometimes people take those connections for granted. They assume you'll always be there, always giving, always understanding. What they don't realize is that your presence is a gift, not a guarantee. When that gift is taken away, when you're no longer there to share the load or light up their life, it leaves a hole, a void they can't fill no matter how hard they try. It's in relationships that your true power is revealed. You're not just another person passing through their world. You're a cornerstone of their peace, their strength, and their happiness. And when that connection is gone, it's not just the relationship they lose. It's the balance, the calm, the sense of completeness that you brought into their life. So never underestimate the role you play in the lives of others. Relationships aren't just about sharing moments. They're about shaping each other's reality. And without you, their world will never feel the same. Picture this, you throw a pebble into a still pond. The ripples start small, but they expand outward, touching everything in their path. That's what your presence, the lives of those around you. Every word you speak, every action you take, even the smallest kindness you offer creates a ripple effect. And that ripple doesn't just stop with the people you directly interact with, it spreads further than you can imagine. Think about the times you've comforted someone during their lowest moment. You might have thought it was just a kind gesture, a simple conversation. But to them, it was a thing that gave them hope to keep going. Now imagine how that hope they received from you helped them show up differently for their own family, their friends, their coworkers. One act of compassion from you created a chain reaction, impacting countless others you may never even meet. Your energy, your positivity, encouragement, and presence doesn't just stay contained within the people closest to you. It radiates outward, shaping the lives of others in ways you may never see. A smile you give to a stranger could be the moment they needed to break free from their own despair. A piece of advice you share with a friend might inspire them to make a bold move that changes the course of their life. These ripples extend far beyond what you realize. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine what happens when your ripple is no longer there. When the kindness, the support, and the unique energy you bring are suddenly missing. The void left behind isn't just felt by the people close to you. It disrupts the entire network of lives that your presence has touched. That's how deep your influence runs. You are not just living your life in isolation. You are a force that shapes the lives around you. Your presence matters because it sets off a chain reaction of positivity, hope, and peace. And when you're gone, the ripple stops. The stillness left behind isn't just noticed, it's deeply felt. Never underestimate the power of your impact because your ripple effect has the ability to change the world. There's a strange truth about life that many people don't fully grasp. We often don't recognize the true value of something or someone until it's gone. It's like the air we breathe. We take it for granted every single day because it's always there. But the moment it's taken away, panic sets in. That's when the weight of its absence becomes undeniable. The same is true for you. Right now, the people around you might not fully appreciate the light you bring into their lives. They might see your kindness, your sacrifices, your efforts, and assume that it's just who you are, constant, unchanging, always available. They might even grow complacent, thinking you'll always be there to catch them when they fall, to listen when they need an ear, or to support them when no one else will. But the truth is, they don't see the full picture until the moment you're no longer there to provide it. When you're gone, suddenly everything changes. The laughter feels emptier, the conversations lack depth, and the comfort they once felt in your presence is replaced with a gnawing sense of regret. They'll think back to the times they didn't say thank you, the times that overlooked your efforts, the times they thought your support was just a given. And that regret, it doesn't fade easily. It lingers because they've realized two lies: to part of their you weren't part of their peace. Absence amplifies value because it forces people to confront what they've lost. The void you leave behind isn't just about missing, it's about missing the sense of balance, love, and security that only you could provide. They may try to fill that void with distractions, with other people, or even with business, but none works. Because your unique energy, your presence, your heart are irreplaceable. Understand this, people will remember you differently when you're gone. They'll carry the weight of your absence in ways they never expected. So don't wait for others to recognize your worth. Know it now. Live it now. Because while they may not always express it, your presence in their lives is shaping their peace more than they'll ever realize until it's too late. But have you ever noticed how some things hold everything else together, even if they don't scream for attention? Well, that's about the foundation of a house. You rarely see it, but without it, the entire structure would crumble. That's what you are for so many people in your life. You're the glue that holds things together, the quiet force that keeps everything from falling apart, even when no one realizes it. You're the one who checks in when no one else remembers to. You're the one who offers solutions when chaos hits, who keeps the peace when tempers flare, and who steps up when others fall short. It might feel like just another day to you, but to them it's everything. You're the reason relationships stay intact, the reason tough conversations are navigated, and the reason the people around you feel safe and supported. But here's the thing about being the glue, it's often invisible. People don't always notice the effort it takes to keep everything together. They might not realize how much you're carrying behind the scenes, how many times you put your needs aside to ensure there's a met, or how often you stepped in to fix what others broke. They just see the results, harmony, stability, and peace. And they assume it will always be that way because you make it look so effortless. Now imagine for a second what happens when that glue is gone. The cracks begin to show. The things that seem so steady start to wobble. The bonds that once felt unbreakable begin to weaken. Without you to hold it all together, everything changes. The arguments last longer. The misunderstandings don't get resolved. The comfort they felt knowing you were there to lean on disappears, leaving behind uncertainty and regret. You are the anchor, the cornerstone, the thread that weaves everything into place. And while it may not always feel like it, your role is essential. They may not say it enough or at all, but the truth is, without you, the world would unravel. So remember this, your value isn't just in what you do, it's in who you are. You are the glue, and when you're not there, the difference is undeniable. Let's be real, there are times when you might feel overlooked, taken for granted, or even invisible. You might think the effort you're putting in goes unnoticed or that the value you bring isn't being recognized. But let me tell you something, your worth isn't defined by the applause you receive or the validation you get from others. Your worth is non-negotiable, it's intrinsic, it's built into who you are. And nothing can take that away. You see, the world has a way of making people doubt themselves. Maybe you've been told you're too much or not enough. Maybe you've been made to feel like your kindness is a weakness or your efforts to help others go unappreciated. But here's the truth. The very things that make you feel overlooked are often the things that make you extraordinary. Your ability to show up, to care, to give without expecting anything in return, that's what makes you invaluable. But here's the catch. If you don't recognize your worth, it becomes easy for others to overlook it too. You might find yourself giving and giving until you're drained, thinking that proving your value depends on how much you can offer. But let me stop you right there. Your value doesn't come from how much you do for others. It comes from the unique qualities that make you who you are. Your empathy, your resilience, your creativity, your heart, those things can't be measured, and they certainly can't be replaced. When you start to own your worth, something shifts. You stop bending over backward for people who appreciate you. You stop doubting whether you're enough because you realize you've always been enough. And here's the powerful part. When you carry yourself with that kind of confidence, people can't help but notice. They'll begin to see what you've always been, the steady presence, the quiet strength, the person who makes their world better just by being in it. But if you don't claim your worth, you risk losing sight of it. And when that happens, you let others dictate how you should be treated. So don't wait for someone to tell you how valuable you are. Don't wait for external validation. Look in the mirror and remind yourself, I'm enough, say it until you believe it. Because the moment you do, the world will begin to reflect that belief back to you. Your worth is non-negotiable, never forget that.